Hi, my name is David, and I have nobody in my life to talk about music to. And today, I want to just review tracks. Just wanted to give you like a quick one, just reviewing 2 tracks. But these are kind of big ones because they're from 21 Pilots, the new singles, Jumpsuit and Nico and the Niners. Now, the reason why I want to do this is because they're kind of the biggest indie alternative band right now. They've disappeared for a bit. They went silent. They kind of came back to this big fanfare, big old music video. I just kind of wanted to talk about it. So, and I also want to sit on the ground and talk about it. So, I found 21 Pilots with their first album, Vessel. Really loved it. I loved the band for its really introspective lyrical qualities. The music was great. Tyler's vocal delivery was always something interesting. I think he's a big allure to the band. People just love it for that. And I just really fell in love with Vessel. Blurryface, I liked lyrical, the vocal delivery. Wasn't just really into the musical themes of just reggae. I just didn't think it fit for them. I didn't like the reggae sound. The concept was cool, but I really wasn't that into it. And same for their Heathen single. Wasn't really big into it. But now they're back with a pair of singles to announce their new album, Trench, that comes out in October. And I got a lot of thoughts on them because they came back to big fanfare because they had this whole mystery around it with this very high concept, it looks like, for this new album that I want to talk about at the end, because there's 2 big things, and there's the concept and the songs themselves. And I kind of want to talk about the songs themselves. So, the first track, Jumpsuit, at first I really wasn't into it, but I think the more hard rock qualities really eventually just drew me in. I just like this harder sound from them. It's much more interesting than the reggae sound. I hope that they kind of continue with it. And even though I don't think that guitar riff is particularly interesting, honestly, it was just cool to see them kind of go into a different direction. Tyler's vocal delivery is great as usual, but what I really like about this track and the other track is that they have more fun with pitching down his voice, reversing it, modulating it in just a billion different ways, and it's just really interesting and adds a lot of depth to both of the songs. And honestly, I could just tell they had a lot of fun with it. I could tell it was just a cool thing they added, and it's great. I love what they're kind of doing, experimenting his voice as if it was an instrument, like you've seen other artists do. Now, the other track, Nico and the Niners, I didn't love it as much because of the reggae sound to it. I'm still not sold on this sound. It has never really fit for me, this modern indie pop reggae. It just has never landed. It just hasn't. Some people love it, that's fine, but it's just never been my thing. That's why I don't think this track is as strong, although I do appreciate the more melodic chorus that they have. I like how it builds. The bridge is really great. But yeah, I'm just not as into this track. I'd like to see them go musically more into the way of Jumpsuit. But that kind of brings me into the lyrics and the themes of both these songs, because both of these kind of delve into this continuation of the Blurryface concept of kind of escaping this anxiety and depressive alter ego that they've created. But they've put a lot more work into, I guess, the universe of this. And my biggest complaint with these songs is that I feel like the concept is kind of overpowering the song themselves. And what I mean by that is that if I didn't go and do research into these songs, I wouldn't have kind of understood the depth of what they were talking about. Now, they've added concepts into Blurryface before, but as a casual listener, you could still kind of pick up on them. There were enough cues that you can kind of figure it out for yourself, while I feel like with these songs, and honestly my biggest fear for this album, is that the concept is something you're going to have to do a lot of research to understand. And that's great for, the hardcore listeners, but the best concept albums for me are ones that can stay on its own legs, or stand on its own legs, that in the album, that you don't need to go on the internet and read a bunch of theories to really understand it. And although that can add to it, it'd just be nice to be able to get at least something from just listening to it casually. At least that's what I am thinking. I don't like it when you talk in so many metaphors that now you're just talking about metaphors, not the meaning you're actually trying to convey. But that's my thought. I love musically where Jumpsuit's going. Tyler's delivery is great as usual. I even like the themes and lyrical content. I just think the concept might be a little too huge, but I'm more interested to see how that concept plays out in a larger album format, because they honestly might, solve every single complaint that I have right now. But yeah, that's what I think. Let me know what you think about this single. I'm guessing some people kind of disagree with it because they got a pretty fervent, is that a word? Fervent fan base. But yeah, let me know what you think, and yeah, that's it.